I don't know, I'm not a man, I couldn't tell you. But I've never been judged off of what I make. As a woman, I've always been judged off of what I look like. So I think to be judged off of what I make for a man would be really uncomfortable.
Hey guys, I'm near Seattle, Washington in the city of Bellevue. Today I'll be asking girls about the red pill concept of men as success objects. In today's age, a lot of men are made to feel superficial and shallow because they judge a woman based on her appearance rather than her personality. The red pill community claims this is hypocritical because while men superficially judge a woman as a sex object, women are just as likely to superficially judge a man as a success object, glossing over his personality and assigning him value based on his wealth and status. Any thoughts?
I think that's unfortunately true.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
I think that's a very interesting aspect that I don't think many people have thought about, probably. I don't think that's necessarily true.
Yeah, I mean, I think both happen, for sure. But I think that it just comes down to what that individual, whether man or woman, what they value.
Do you think it's okay to judge a man based on how much money he makes?
I'm gonna say it's not okay, but I definitely do it.
I think it can be an issue if the guy is someone who doesn't have a job and isn't actively trying to find a job, but otherwise I think no.
It should be all about personality, I think. And wealth matters.
If you're just judging them just on what they have, then you might realize that you kind of come to a dead end just because I know a lot of people that don't drive the nicest car, but they have a lot in their bank account, or they have a lot that they're saving for, or they have a really nice home.
For me, no. I don't want to speak to on other people's like morals and values, but for me, no. Like, that's not how I would judge somebody at all. I don't care.
In my opinion, in some ways, yes, because I want to be with a man who is just as successful as I am.
No, I don't think that's okay. I know a lot of people do this, and of course, sometimes you catch yourself doing this.
Are you personally attracted to like a wealthy, high status man?
No, not at all. I'm not from wealth. I can't, that's not my lifestyle whatsoever.
I think so, just because it embodies success, but it could all be an act also.
No, it doesn't really matter to me.
I look at how clean they are. So usually men that have more money or just have like a better stance are, you know, dressed better, look better.
I guess I am, but not like it's more like the people who've made themselves.
For me, when I think of like marriage and family, I'm like, no, you need to know how to provide for others in the sense of like if you have kids, and so that matters to me. But as far as wealth is concerned, as far as like monetary wealth, I would say I'm not really judging a guy on that.
What do you think the appeal is of a high status guy that earns a lot of money? Like, why is that, for women, why do you think that's appealing?
Well, that's appealing because then it's like a status thing. Like a woman can feel comfortable. She doesn't feel like she has to work hard or something if the man is making a good, you know, solid bed to lay on.
I think it's the comfort that they can achieve from extra wealth. Probably just because women's items cost a lot of money. So if someone can afford it, you can buy all those things.
Just getting things out of it, like actual like materialistic things, and then just the status of it, I think the security of it, not having to worry about maybe long term if they wanted to get married and have kids and like be a stay-at-home mom.
I think women, they love to have money. I feel like because they enjoy shopping, they enjoy going out, I feel like they enjoy more things in the world, like material stuff is more fun for women, I think.
Because I think women think that they can provide, and that's what all women want, is somebody that can provide, somebody that looks like they're stable enough to take care of us, them, and then a future family.
Do you think it's true that there's social stigma for men preferring beautiful women, but not so much social stigma for women preferring successful men?
Yes, I do think that. I think it's like more socially acceptable for girls to joke around about being like, oh yeah, I just gotta find myself a rich husband, or like I hear that all the time, and I've probably been guilty of that, but it's definitely like totally a joke.
There is a big stigma for women that prefer rich men. At least I feel like the term gold digger is really popular.
Like gold diggers, they like everybody hates them.
I guess it's not as talked about or something about looking for successful men. I think it's just more broadly known that men look for sexy women.
TV shows and movies, they tend to portray that, it is more of a stigma that, men want a woman a certain way physically, but then they seem to make it okay for the woman to want a guy who is successful, has a steady job, is wealthy.
Should we criticize women for preferring men who are wealthy?
Yes, because I don't want to be judged on how I look. I want people to like my character and not how I look. So I shouldn't judge people on how much they earn, I guess. Yeah, you should never judge someone because of money or the look, even though we do this all the time.
I think for women, it's not as important that the guy is like super attractive, if that makes sense. For example, I've dated guys who I'm like, no, like aesthetically you're not that good looking, like honestly, but you have amazing character and you have a great personality and you treat me great, so that's why I like you.
How do you think it would feel if you were no longer judged based on how you look, but based on how much money you made?
I think it would sometimes be a little bit harder. For example, when I go with my friends to club for something and you're underage, when you look kind of good and everything and you're dressed up and everything, they'd be like, okay, just go in.
I mean, I think that would suck, that's for sure. I wouldn't want to date someone who cares how much money I make.
I mean, I would feel comfortable.
I feel comfortable,
but
I also think
I think it would change the game a lot too.
I would cry because I make nothing.
I make so little right now. They just want you for money, so I think that's just kind of not sad, but you kind of feel lost. Like they don't want you as you.
Have you ever thought about what it would be like to be a man and be judged not on your personality, but based on how successful you are?
I think for men that struggle to be more successful, I think that would be really, unfortunate.
I think more women are judged basically now on how successful you can become.
Actually, before I wanted to be a man for some, I just didn't like to be a woman. But I never thought that what would it feel like if they want me as my money.
That would kind of suck, I think, because what if there's a really good person, he's good-hearted, but he just currently doesn't have the means to get a stable job.
When I think about being a guy, the only thing I think about is how much easier their lifestyle is. Just because you don't have to deal with the glam of the girl. And I think you could probably attest to that too. And every woman probably. But at the end of the day, I don't think I've ever thought of that, no.
Why do you think men don't judge women based on their wealth and status?
I think because y'all can't hate me for this, but I think at the end of the day, our natural culture is for the men to be the breadwinners. And that's just like the culture that we've always had. And it's kind of the breakthrough in the last 50 years or so that women are now becoming the breadwinners.
I think their little brain's talking a little bit more than their big brain's talking. Maybe not something to put in a YouTube video, but
I would assume that both men and women do judge each other based on personalities. It's just looks attract, and then the personality is what makes the person stay.
I think that there's this social, I don't know how to say it, social understanding that guys are supposed to provide for women. I don't personally agree with that, but I think that that's sort of what people think, or what we're conditioned to think.
I guess in a family and in a relationship, men want to be able to support their spouse, so I think that's why men don't really look for women in salaries and stuff, because that's not what they're about. They're about what the woman makes them feel like.
Probably because they have this thought in their heads that the man is the one who earns the money in a family, because I know it's not like this anymore, and I want to be someone who gets their own money, who earns their own money.
I feel like men like to be able to like have something to like show off, so they kind of look for.
Yeah, that's for sure too.
That's, you know, more beautiful than what they make.
And I think that men look for sexier women to kind of like pick themselves up. Like that's their look, you know, like they make the money and the women are the prize.
Girls often tell guys as far as how to be attractive, they'll say, just be yourself and it's what's on the inside that counts. Should they instead be telling men, hey, if you want to be more appealing to women, work on making more money and increasing your status?
Well, I think that's completely...
No, I don't really agree with that.
No, I don't agree with that at all. That's like ignorant.
These questions are so hard. I really don't know.
Is it good advice to just be yourself and it's what's on the inside that counts for men to be attractive to girls?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I do think that is good advice.
Well, that's one of them. But at the first sight, you don't just know them, their personality. Just when you look at someone, it's their look.
If guys just constantly wear like sweats or like basketball shorts, it doesn't put their best foot forward.
Good outfit, good look, get a haircut.
Of course, the first thought is he's looking good or he's not looking good, or he has this or that, but in the end, when he's not looking that good, but he has a good personality and he's funny and he's like attractive to me with his like character, then all of a sudden I see him in a different way.
I don't want someone to like categorize themselves based on like how much they make. Like, you know, you have other parts to you that are good.
If one of his goals is to provide for the family, then he will definitely be successful one way or another.
So it truly is like at the end of the day, like how much, you know, they care about you, how well they treat you. And
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like the guy who walks up to me and pays for my coffee or just says a nice compliment, not like, oh, you look great today, but oh, I don't know, something different, you know, something that really just like catches your attention, the guy that opens the door for you or something, like I don't care what he's wearing.
Become a healthy and whole person first before trying to like, or maybe like simultaneously if they can, trying to acquire status and monetary wealth, I guess, because at the end of the day it's like, cool, you have all this money maybe or like status, but if you're not happy and you're like, you have stuff to work through, or if you don't have good character in the sense that people actually like you for you and not just what you can provide them or give them, then it's kind of like, it's empty.